Hello, I'm Andrew, and welcome to another episode of It Never Ends. My co-host over there is Alex. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
All
Lots
things
happened.
considered.
Lots happened within the realm of sports, especially. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
The big one being that as of last night, Giannis Antetokounmpo got traded to the Miami Heat.
You're fucking what now?
Yep. Giannis Antetokounmpo got traded, and Bobby Portis got traded to the Miami Heat for like 3 players, 3 first-round draft picks, including the one for today's draft, which we're recording this on Tuesday. So the draft is actually going on right now for the NBA draft, and then I think a second round, and then 1 second-round pick or whatever. All things considered, that's probably a pretty good haul for Giannis. In the end, it doesn't fucking matter because the Bucks suck ass at drafting anyway. And they're going to be completely ass without Giannis, so who cares?
And to lose Bobby Portis, too.
Yeah, then they just kind of thrown in there, so it was just like, well, whatever. That happened late last night because they wanted because there was already the Bucks had already talked about they want if they are trading Giannis, they want to get it done before the draft, to which they did. So it's sucks to lose Giannis or whatever, but it's between decisions being made by ownership, upper management, and stuff like that over the past few seasons. Just felt like this was inevitable.
You can't really. Yeah,
it's like poor drafting, not adding players that were going to make you a winning ball club, pretty much. It was that it's just like constantly trading and stuff like that. It's like, did you need to trade for Chris Middleton last year, or was it a couple of years ago? Fuck no, you didn't need to do that. They felt they needed to do that, so they just did it. And I was like, why? You didn't, because he's old and stuff like that. I'm like, you don't trade a guy that's done this so much, so on and so forth, or whatever. And it's like the Dame trade didn't work out. I can't necessarily blame them for trading for Damian Lillard. At the time, it was I thought it was a really good deal. And then he ended up tearing his Achilles. And, we'll see what Damian Lillard is when he comes back. And it won't be with the Bucks because they dropped him. It'll be with Portland because they picked him up. So, yeah, like I said, overall, not gonna be doing much. In essence, it's like, oh, you got Tyler Hero and Gallar, and you got a lot of young players. The only thing about this is like the Heat traded for Giannis to try and be competitive next season and stuff like that. But you traded away half of your roster, like half of your starting roster.
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
So I'm sitting here going just like, wait, who the fuck is going to be playing for the team? It's like your starting 5 is right now is of the guys that I know you have left are like Bam Adebayo, Giannis, and Bobby Portis, and I'm like, huh?
Just gonna do what the Jets effectively did. We're gonna pick these 2 players and we're gonna build a whole new team around them.
Yeah, and considering that, like, I don't know. It's like considering when you look at like the league and stuff like that, and it's like the teams just continuing like you look at like the teams that made it to the finals and stuff like that. It's like or we're really competitive. It's like you look at the Thunder, you look at the Spurs and stuff like that. They're just extremely young teams, basically. So I'm sitting here going just like you look at this Heat team, and it's like they're a bunch of old vets that won't be able to keep up with these young guys. And I'm like, so basically, Giannis went from one Buck situation to potentially another Buck situation where it's just basically like Miami's not going to be able to do anything because they don't have any capital to trade for more players to try and make a winning ball club. And you traded away anyone and any of your support for this, so it's just like, what are we doing here?
I think they just wanted to get out of the Bucks. I see their reasoning, absolutely. I do not see what the Heat's getting out of this.
I mean, the Heat's getting a few good years of the few years that Giannis has left. I mean,
I'm
he's older, but he's still really good.
I mean, I'm not doubting that he's good, but you need an entire team surrounding that one good player. It's like you're not just going to get by just having Giannis on the team.
Yeah, I mean, Bam's still good too. It's like Bam Adebayo's still good. Portis is probably just going to be the sixth man, but he might be the starting five depending on what your starting five is. Because honestly, I have no idea what it is.
I think Bobby Portis absolutely makes the top 5.
Yeah, I just don't know enough about the Heat team, and honestly, I don't really care much about the NBA, and now I care even less about the NBA. I don't know. It's whatever. I just thought I was just like, man, I don't. It sucks to watch Giannis go because he's by far my favorite athlete in any sport. Like he's one of my favorite guys to have watched or whatever. That 2021 like championship run was like the thing of dreams, basically. Like that was so much fun to watch or whatever. And it's like I get it. Sports is more fun to watch when your team is doing good and stuff like that. Is partially why I didn't watch any of the NBA this year. Is the Bucks sucked ass this year. So it's just like, but it's like, man, there's just something magical about when you in a championship run like that.
Haven't the Bucks been kind of on the back leg for a long time now, though, too?
I mean, yeah, they won 2021 or whatever, and they whatever.
I
And
feel
they
like
haven't been able to replicate that whatsoever, and mainly it's because they traded away Drew Holiday almost pretty much right after they won the championship, and I'm just like, why? Such an underrated player, Drew Holiday was. And it's like it's funny is like he went to the Celtics like that very next season or whatever, and the Celtics won the NBA Finals. Correlation? Maybe.
So it's the fucking circle of life with sports teams from Wisconsin, dude. We'll have one really good season, and then the season immediately following it.
Well, it's not even just like the season following it. It's just like I don't know. Like it's like their coach, whatever. I don't remember. They always knew him as Coach Bud, or whatever. They basically like kind of mutually parted ways. Basically, it's like. They did fire him, but it was also because he wanted to be let go because of some personal issues that he was having at like and stuff like that. And then it was like right after that they hired I don't remember the guy's name. It's like Adrian Griffin or something like that, or whatever, to be the next head coach. And there was some growing pains, but he still had a winning record. And then after that, they hired Doc Rivers. Because they fired him with a winning thing, and then Doc Rivers burned a bridge that was never gonna be healed. Like that is how bad. And this guy got voted into the fucking NBA Hall of Fame. Get the fuck out of here! This motherfucker is not a fucking NFL. He rode his way to a career off of winning a championship back in 2008 and didn't do jack shit after that. But everyone's like, he's such a good coach. I'm like, if he was such a good coach, why the fuck wasn't he coaching prior to that? Get the fuck out of here. Fucking hate Doc Rivers. Worst decision they ever could have made. The Bucks signed him for a 3-year deal or whatever. He coached a one season, burned a bridge, and said, "I'm fucking out of here. Thanks for the $30 million."
Oh my gosh!
Fuck you. Legitimately, fuck you. All right, just had to let that out.
No, you're good.
I do love Giannis, though. I hope he does well with Miami. I just don't give a shit anymore. I will refuse to root for Miami, but I don't know. Miami will either make or break whether or not Giannis's good intentioned soul is still there, because I do believe he is a very genuine guy, despite all of the recent controversies that he's kind of had, in especially this last season, where he had like this partnership deal with Kalshi, which I don't even want to get all into that whole thing.
I think I know what you're talking about. That's fucked.
That was kind of fucked when he got a sponsorship deal. Look, I don't know the whole logistics behind that or whatever type thing, but there's definitely like some shady business that definitely goes on behind that. It's like you're sponsoring a player in the NBA on a betting app. That okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. So
those betting apps just get super sketchy too, and like basically every corner of the sports industry, you have like fighters betting on their own games and then throwing on purpose.
Sports. That was like Emmanuel Clase and what was it, Luis Ortiz or whatever for the Cleveland Guardians got caught betting on him. I was like betting on his own stuff, and like there was like legit like allegations behind it too. It's like, oh, you can clearly see that he was like missing pitch one purposely or whatever type thing. And while he says he didn't do it on purpose, there's a reason why the Guardians dropped him and stuff like that. So don't you worry about a thing. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, the amount of times the amount of like stuff I've heard about is just like, oh guys, I mean, there's a whole fucking thing with this Brandon Schwarzby or whatever his fucking name is that was with Texas Tech, and he's no longer with the program or whatever. He's the quarterback for Texas Tech or whatever was, and he got caught betting on his own games or whatever. And even though 6 other judges said that, oh yeah, you're not getting away with this. You're done. Your eligibility's done. You're not playing in the college football anymore or whatever. But then one fucker says, "Oh yeah, you're good to play." And then there was a whole fucking thing about it or whatever. The NCAA threatened repercussions against him type thing. The Big Ten talked about how they weren't even gonna associate with the Big 12 or Texas Tech basically until like, you know, justice, I guess, or had been served or whatever type thing. I don't know, however you want to say it or whatever type thing. Or, but it's just like until he was not eligible to play, and so he basically said, all right, well, I guess if I'm not going to do this, we're going to be going to the NBA or the NFL, and then with this supplemental draft or whatever. And then I saw today that the NFL said, oh yeah, this supplementary draft, yeah, it's not happening anymore. There's not enough players to play. There's not enough players to do it, so we're not going to do it. So what does that mean for him? It means that he has to either commit to another school, which I don't know what school would even commit to him, or wait a year and then join the NFL draft, in which nobody will give a fuck about you.
No, I don't think there's any real way out for him at this point. Anyway, nope. The second you get caught doing that, it's like that's it. Your credibility's done.
Yep.
Way to fuck yourself, idiot.
Yeah, and then
imagine all the money that he just threw away.
And then one judge in Texas says, "No, we think that this is a good kid and stuff like that. We think he should be able to play another year in college football." Fuck you. How much did he pay you?
Nothing. He just had the right skin color.
No, he also got paid like a couple $1 million easily. Look, I can't
wait to see white. That probably sounds really bad.
I mean, not wrong though. It's also Texas, so you know.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So there's a whole thing about that too. So yeah. And the one thing I want to say to wrap up the sports talk is I want to talk about the Giants on Sunday. They got swept by the Miami Marlins, and in the last game of that series, Rafael Devers works a walk, and then because he is a slow motherfucker, he was going to get pinch ran for. So the manager for the Giants, like, oh yeah, you know, the young guy, you're fast, go run for him type thing. Like let's try and tie up this game or whatever type thing, and Devers just kind of goes, no, I'm not coming out of the game. No, go back, and stuff like that. It's just not a good look. Like, you don't shoo away your own player or whatever and show up your manager all in one go.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
That's pretty rough.
I think it's a perfect summation of the Giants team this year, basically. I think it is the perfect way to describe the Giants this year. Is that they have a lot of, yes. It's just that I don't wish poorly on Vitello. He's the manager for the Giants. He came directly from Tennessee, from the University of Tennessee, and managing the big league. He's the first guy to ever do that. It's like Buster Posey, the GM there, hired him to be the manager straight from college. Usually what happens is that you work your way up through either as an assistant coach or through the minor league systems to kind of get yourself to get yourself up to that spot. But they decided, oh, he's good enough or whatever type thing. And I think of some of the players, especially when it comes to like Devers, who had issues with management and ownership or whatever with the Red Sox before being traded to the Giants, just kind of showed up his own manager there. And I don't know if it's partially that, you know, it's like, oh, he's like this guy doesn't know us type thing or whatever. He's a first time rookie manager type thing or whatever. And it's just like, no. It's like, I rule this team, not you type thing. And it's just, it's not a good look. Not a good look at all. And that's why I say I think it's a perfect estimation of this or whatever. It's like, I'm the $300 million man, so I'm clearly should call the shots, not you. And so eventually he relented because the umpire said, "Hey, dude, you gotta get off the field. You're getting pinch ran for."
Yeah.
So and you can see him kind of like he just like grabs his helmet and he just kind of like scratches his head and he's really frustrated or whatever. Like walks right past his bench coach. Right next to one of his bench. Like walks right past one of his bench coaches, who's like kind of give him like a pat on the back, like, "Hey, good job getting on base" type thing. And he goes, "Hey, fuck off," you know. He's like, "Don't fucking touch me," and then just doesn't talk to anyone. Walks straight back into the locker room. Giants lose 2-1. I was like, man, you know, it's really funny to watch that from like a guy that's supposed to be like a superstar who's having like career lows on every account with Devers or whatever, and just to go like, oh yeah, I rule this team, and it's just clear that there's like, I don't know if it's a lack of respect or I'm not really sure what it is when it comes to the Giants or whatever. When it comes, like, I don't think it's anything from Vitello. I think it's just the players aren't into it. And it's like there is a learning curve. There is a learning curve that he is learning hard and very fast. There's been multiple times where he hasn't, like, when he comes out to, you know, relieve a pitcher from the mound or something like that. When you have two guys up in the bullpen, it's technically usually you have a lefty and a righty up, and you kind of signal with one hand whether or not you are, you know, who you want to go for in a certain scenario. And he just kind of like didn't do that and kind of frustrated his own, you know, coaches or whatever. He's like, "Who do you want? Who do you want?" type thing. And then, like, you know, one time an umpire went, "Oh, he probably wants the lefty, so we're gonna signal lefty or whatever because he's taking out the righty pitcher and there's lefty batter coming up." And then, like, one time Adames did it or whatever, and I'm sitting here going just like, "There's a learning curve. I understand." And stuff like that.
Sounds like a fucking mess.
And yes, it is. And this is why oftentimes you will see guys like kind of have this, that way you have to like almost work your way up to this point or whatever. Because the difference between college ball and the MLB is different. There's a learning curve. And I think Vitello's learning it as he's going. Yeah. And he's doing his darndest, and I'll say that much, because this was a kind of a cursed team already. Its pitching is not great outside Logan Webb. Its hitting is relying on old players that are kind of past their prime, and Rafael Devers, who thinks he owns the team, or at least it feels like he does. And you got like guys that are just kind of really underperforming, and a few guys that are doing really well. Like Bryce Eldridge has been a breakout star for them. Honestly, it's like he's a rookie this year, and he's been really good. Same thing with that Casey Schmidt. I think that's his name, something Schmidt.
That's awesome.
So it's like they have a couple good players. It's just there's a lot of underperforming guys, and it's not looking like the Giants are going to make the playoffs. So,
well, what it sounds like is that there's some issues with discipline mainly.
Yeah, which stems from the manager, and like I said, it's like, and it's kind of like what reports I've heard recently. Like I've heard from pretty much all year is that Vitale is like, I want to be friends with these guys. I'm like, as a manager, you can't always do that in essence because you have to be the leader of the thing or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you want these guys to like you and stuff like that. But there's a difference between liking you and being.
You got to keep them at arm's length, though. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's just like some managers play it extremely well. Like Pat Murphy, I think Milwaukee does it perfectly, where it's like the guys try hard for him because he's such a likable guy and he's like that. But he's also not afraid to lay down the law at times. Like if you're not performing, he will call you out for it and say, "Hey, you need to be better." That has happened a couple times this year for like Brandon Sproat for the Brewers he's talked about how he's like, we need better from you, Sproat, if you want to keep your spot in this rotation. Like we can't have stinkers where you go 3 innings, give up 6 runs. Like we just can't have that.
Yeah.
So, and it's like same thing with like Jory Ortiz. It's like there was times where he just was like falling asleep at the plate or something like that, and just like free at bats, and it's like, hey, we need you to wake up. Like same thing with Perkins. Perkins, we need you to get down on that bunch. Can't be doing that. If you want to keep your spot, you got to do that. So, I don't know. It's always so interesting. That's why, and it's another reason why I think that while in college, I think oftentimes you can be kind of friends with these, college guys or whatever, because they're still learning, and oftentimes many of them don't come with like a whole baggage, like, oh, I'm being paid millions of dollars. You played with this on this team or whatever. So you kind of can be a little bit more friendly with them, in essence. But you can't really do that as a manager in the big leagues. You just
no. You like I said, you got to keep these guys at arm's length. Because when you get into the whole "I'm your friend" type talk, that's when shit starts to go down.
Yeah. It's like they gotta respect you, but and also like you, and it's just like something that it's that fine line the managers have had to kind of do in the big leagues. So, yep. And then last thing I want to talk about is whatever is
you're right, but you're right. By the way, his name is Casey Schmidt.
Okay,
his batting average is crazy too, though.
Yeah, he's having a good year. I guess Luis Ariz has also been pretty good for them.
100%.
I always forget about that. But one last thing I want to talk about is for sports wise is that the Mets faced off against the Phillies this weekend, and oh my God, was that a shitstorm for the Mets? Holy fuck!
It sounds like a shitstorm. I don't even know what.
The Phillies on, I think it was Saturday. Yes, Friday or Saturday, one of the two. I think it was Saturday. Saturday, it was like Kyle Schwarber hit 3 home runs in a game, and Bryce Harper hit for the cycle. And it's just like, every time the Mets seem like they're like, oh, we might actually be like a halfway decent team, then they realize we're the fucking Mets. We fucking suck ass. I don't know. It's just like they lost like 15 to like 2 or something like that or whatever on Saturday, and it was
what the fuck? How?
Beat down. Kyle Schwarber hits 3 home runs, and Bryce Harper hits for a cycle, and your pitching just fell apart or whatever.
That's insane.
And my boy Freddie Peralta's on the bad end of it too. Oh man, we need a free Freddie Peralta from the hell that is the Mets. Look, maybe by the end of the trade deadline, he will be.
We need it for We need to free everyone from the Mets. Let's be fair here, fair and
But
transparent.
the Knicks just won the NBA Finals. Everyone wants to be in New York right now. Yeah, maybe for
Who
basketball.
cares? Who gives a shit?
Look,
Yeah,
this is my weekly warning that the Mets should really get rid of Carlos Mendoza, their manager. They should do exactly what the Phillies did. The Phillies got rid of Rob Thompson like super early into the season or whatever, and they've played so much better as a result of that. It's crazy how much better, like hitting and pitching wise, and some of it's that they got like a bat, they got like one of their big bats back along with their best pitcher, arguably their best pitcher in Zach Wheeler. I would probably say their best pitcher is Christopher Sanchez, but you know,
for the Mets, 100%. Yeah,
so it's just like, but I'm just saying, I'm like, but Mets are like, nope, Mendoza's good for the year type thing, and I'm like, you're insane. It's like it's clear that the coaching staff isn't getting, like, literally the Mets broadcast in multiple times this season has called out the leadership of this team basically and says I question the leadership because there's miscues, errors all around type thing, and when your broadcast is calling out your team for lack of leadership or lack of accountability, boy, that's bad.
that's insane.
Like, it's crazy. All right, sports talk over.
Sports talk over. It's only been 25 minutes.
Yeah, only been 25 minutes. I just wanted to get that part.
Okay.
I don't know. It's like that's been the interesting stuff, I guess. I don't know. It's like I didn't feel the need to go through all 28 other teams.
Okay, I'm just saying. It's draft season. It's very exciting right now.
Who cares?
I care. I wanted the Bucks to be good again eventually.
We'll give it
That
another
that
50. Give it another 50 years, and we might have a generational talent like Giannis again.
that one season when we were doing really, really good, it felt amazing.
Yeah, 2021 was
There's
great.
there was so much energy around then, and it's like I got into basketball, and I've never been into basketball like before that point.
Basketball,
So
I would argue, whether it's either college or NBA, is probably in its worst spot it's been in a while. The entertainment wise, and maybe even game wise, honestly. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just like the game is just so fucking boring. Now, right now, it's like it's just like no, like oh,
that's
it's
the
like
state of most sports games, to be fair,
I don't know. There's just
with the
something.
exception of baseball.
There's just something about what basketball used to be to what it is now type thing, and I don't know if it's just because I'm so sick of the flopping from certain players or whatever, and it not being called, whether it's collegiate or the pros or whatever type thing, or if it's just like I'm so sick and tired of like I was never like a hater of like, oh, every team just goes and walks down the court and shoots a three and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and I was like, I never really felt that to this point, but man, do I fucking feel it as of recent. It's like I think I watched one quarter of the NBA finals, and I watched the Knicks shoot like, I don't know, like probably pretty close to 23s in a quarter, and I think they made 5.
I have an interesting question for you. You think part of this decline might be because we are no longer, I think of how to phrase this, like no longer living in the like era of like sports superstars. Like think about like who we had back in that day. We had people like LeBron James, we had Michael Jordan, we had on for basketball we had Brett Favre in Wisconsin for a few years before he went insane and stole $500,000 from a charity.
And Aaron Rodgers, who lost his damn marbles.
I don't know what the fuck happened to him.
He lost his damn
That
marbles. He went to his retreat, and then too many concussions.
Do you think in sports we could use more of those like big, higher profile like sports
No.
superstars? I feel like they've tried to build them up, but we haven't really gotten
To
like.
me, as a team that's like,
Mhm.
as a sports fan, is for teams that are like, yes, there are like, it's cool to kind of see, the big players, or whatever. And I think that you do
Mhm.
hold a legitimate, especially when it comes to NBA, of like, um, it's a point to that like there needs to be like almost feels like there needs to be a player. UFC's kind of going through that right now, from what I gather, is that there's no like household name. There's no like a Conor McGregor, basically in the sport anymore.
Mhm.
Um, and as a result of that, nobody knows who's who type thing. But then again, I would also argue that if you're not into UFC, you don't really know him anyway. But there's not like a household name that people just know. Like everyone knows LeBron James, right? Like he
Yeah.
is LeBron, stuff like that. Like everyone knows Michael Jordan. He was the best to ever do it.
I mean, the only reason I bring some of this stuff up, like Babe Ruth, is also a good example.
Yeah,
Everybody knows who Babe Ruth is, but the reason I kind of bring this up is because I was watching a video recently that was going over the decline of the WWE and how it's lost so much, like ground, and how compared to how it used to be, it's lost a lot of relevance, especially with things like AEW and all these other like alternative like options that people have come from. How they keep signing people like I can't remember his name, so this is a bad example. But in the back in the day, you had the Undertaker. That's who I was trying to think of.
yeah. It's like you had Undertaker, John Cena, like Brock
Ma-
Lesnar, all those guys. Like
Much
yeah,
Macho Man, Randy Savage,
Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan.
Chris Benoit.
Yeah, The Miz.
And it's like, don't get me wrong, people like Orange Cassidy and them, they're all still really cool, but I think, well, everybody agrees like wrestling is nowhere near as popular as it is today as it used to be. I just wonder like what happened and why don't we have that sort of star power in a lot of these different sports nowadays.
And we do. It's just that like they don't. I don't know how to necessarily describe it. It's just like
Mhm.
it's just like they're not as widespread as it is or whatever. It's like I
That's
feel
what I'm
like
referring to, yeah.
it's just like I would argue that the NFL like has like Patrick Mahomes. Like I feel like everyone knows Patrick Mahomes, right?
Mhm.
And stuff like that. So it's just like I think there's just a level of like I don't know dominance that isn't had, or I don't know lack of interest. I don't know. That's kind of what it seems like to me. Is that there feels like there's almost a lack of interest when it comes to the from people.
Mhm.
In essence, it's just like we got Patrick Mahomes. That fucker's always there, type thing, or whatever. you know.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's that kind of thing or whatever. It's like it's almost gotten to the point where no one likes to see the same people kind of win it year in and year out. It's like that's why it's like everyone stopped hating on the Yankees for winning all the time, and now we're all like, oh, we can't let the Dodgers three-peat, you know? Like that's the thing. That's the same thing as well. It's like I have a
Mhm.
feeling that probably the same thing's going to happen this next season with in the NFL with the Rams. The Rams are, I think, the clear favorites to win the Super Bowl this year after trading for
Most
Myles Garrett.
most definitely.
So it's just like, and then not only that, if they make it to the Super Bowl, they get to play at their home fucking stadium, because that's how that works. Because it's being hosted there. That's why I say that. I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It's just like I don't whether it's lack of interest or whatever type thing. It's like there are guys in the NBA that are and probably could be even bigger than like guys like LeBron. Not like as LeBron or whatever. It's like I would argue that like like Jokic and stuff like that, Jokic, Giannis, or whatever, are bigger than LeBron. Maybe not in his prime, but now LeBron as right now, yes.
Mhm.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. It's like those guys are like Wemby. Like when Victor Wembanyama came to the NBA, it was a big fucking deal or whatever. But outside of people who are actually interested in the NBA, does anyone even know that guy's name? No. Well, maybe a few more people know it now that he was in the NBA Finals, probably.
I would hope so, certainly.
But I don't know. You can say lack of superstars or whatever, or it's just like general lack of like everyone just kind of bandwagons on one team and just kind of sticks with it or whatever. It's partially why I always like. It's like, oh, everyone just wants to go for the winning team or whatever, so they root for the Yankees or they root for the Dodgers for baseball, or if you're basketball or whatever, it's like, oh, you're just gonna root for
The Lakers
or the Celtics or whatever type thing. And I'm just like. Or how about you fucking actually root for a team? Well, they suck. And I'm like, how about just get invested into a team or whatever? That's a lot of work. And I go, dude, it's really not that hard.
It's not at all.
It's really not hard. If you're interested in sports, just tell me you're not interested in sports. That's fine. If you just want to go there for a good time, sure, that's great and all. But, I don't know. To me, sports is always more fun when you can kind of know the players or get into the weeds of it type thing. It's why I basically made a YouTube channel for just the Brewers, so I could talk, so I could have more of a reason to talk Brewers and get more into the team. Look, this is my plea as a sports fan: get more into a sports team that's not just the team that you're winning. Like if you're in New York or whatever and you want to root for the Yankees, I think that's perfectly fine.
That's kind of what most people have to do nowadays.
Just don't
I feel like
bandwagon onto the teams that are always winning. For the fucking God's sakes of it! Oh my God! Now The thing, here, I just thought of another thing I want to talk about. The fucking All-Star voting for baseball right now is fucking absurd, by the way. Like, I just want to point out who the fucking like, nobody is like, it's so fucking stupid. It's like MLB.com/vote. It's already going to be past voting time or whatever. But it's like there are guys that are here that are considered all-stars that should absolutely not be all-stars. Like, what is it? Like Vladimir Guerrero is right now is the starting first baseman for the American League. He's not the best first baseman in the American League, but because everyone knows his name, they vote for him. And I think that's fucking stupid when Ben Rice has a 979 OPS to Vladimir Guerrero's 729 OPS and only has 4 home runs to Ben Rice's 22. What the fuck do you mean? But yeah, he's the starting first baseman as of right now. Yeah, it's fine. Same thing with like a National League second baseman. It's like you got Ozzy Albies, who has 776 OPS or whatever, is currently starting second baseman for the National League. Bryson Stott right now is is in second place, and he is below average when it comes to OPS in that or whatever. Oh, let's just take a quick peek around the rest of the second baseman in the National League. Arias, 801 OPS. Willie Castro, 744. I wouldn't put him there though. Xavier Edwards, an 806 OPS. Brandon Lowe, who is having a super underrated season for the Pirates, is 842 OPS type thing. Ketel Marte, 773 OPS. Bryce Terang at 830 OPS. JJ Weatherholt 796 OPS. These guys are so much better than him. What the fuck are we doing?
I don't.
And the list goes on and on and on. And look, there's some of them that are actually like legit good picks. I think that they are generally are the best players at that position. But Jesus Christ, there are some egregious ones. Or whatever. The first, like that one with Vladdy Guerrero Jr. And it's like, don't get me wrong, the guy's good, but like he's having such a bad year. There's no reason he should be the starting He should be the starting first baseman. So dumb. And it's just like there are guys that are just like not in and not in the front running or whatever. It's like Aaron Judge still has the number 1 votes. The guy's hurt. He won't be able to play in the All-Star game type thing. The Yankees aren't even sure when he's going to be back at this moment. And then there's like I don't know. It's like Trout. At least Trout is actually an all-star. Unfortunately, he's also hurt, and they're not sure when he's going to be back either. So that kind of sucks for me. But it's like I look at the outfield for the National League, and currently, Ronald Acuna Jr. is hurt. He's been good. His numbers are okay, or type thing, but he's probably not going to be there or whatever. Brandon Marsh, who's had an extremely good year, absolutely deserves to be here. Andy Pages, another good one for this year or whatever type thing. But then there's a few that are just like, what the fuck are we doing? It's like, how is Jordan Walker not even on this list? How is James Wood not even on this list? Or whatever that's up there type thing. How is Jackson Chourio not up here in essence? And I'm just sitting here going just like, man alive. It's like, don't get me wrong, the National League's stacked. But like, All-Star voting is stupid as hell. Well, since I'm here, I might as well just put my votes in because why the fuck not? It's like, let's see. I'm gonna go first baseman Jake Powers because always go for Brewers. No, it's just like it's like I generally go with like who I think should be the that or whatever type thing. And there's a lot of good choices in a lot of positions, but there's just some that are very egregious. It's like first baseman for the American League. Like, you're telling me Nick Kurtz is not going to be there? The guy's hitting .290 with 19 home runs, 61 RBIs, and a .995 OPS. Nope. Just because he plays for Oakland. And I go, what the fuck does that mean? That doesn't mean shit. Say I think this All-Star voting it perfectly represents what we were talking about prior to me going off on the off on this, where it's just like, well, there's no superstars. No, it's just people gravitate towards names that they know type thing, rather than looking further into what's out there type thing. Even though when you look at the All-Star voting or whatever, it literally shows all their numbers. Like, it shows their batting average, home runs, RBIs, and OPS. You can even search by average home runs, RBI. Oh my god, they make this so easy to pick like what you think is the best player. But no, it's like I'm just gonna pick Vladdy. I'm gonna pick Freddie Freeman, even though he's probably been one of the better first basemen in the year. God, Harper. Oh my god, I didn't even realize that Harper's not even starting It's in Philly. Oh my god. It's why a lot of people say it's like, oh yeah, All-Star voting doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, well, get invested in learning a team or whatever. If you're interested in sports, then fucking do it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I agree. And it doesn't always have to be your home team either.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. If there's a specific team you like or whatever, then that's perfectly fine.
The Bucks suck. You don't have to cheer for them just because you're from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Well, I did the I was about to bring up the Cardinal. I just brought up I was literally just about to say, oh, Brandon Sproat's pitching today for the Brewers. Hey, he's got no hits giving up 0 hits through the first 5 innings. And then right as I was about to say that, he gives up his first base hit. And I'm like, this is why it's a Cardinal rule. You don't bring up no hitters when they're happening.
I know.
It's a Cardinal sin I just did. So my bad, Sproat. If for some reason you'd ever hear that.
It's like saying nice when somebody's just had a really nice drive and it
Yep.
fucks up immediately.
Yep. You just don't do that. You just don't do that. And yet we do it every time. And we go, oh, that's looking good. And then you hear clunk and you go, oh, man. Well, sorry, I niced you.
Fuck you, dude. I hope you tear your ACL.
Whoa. Now, whoa. Hey, whoa. We don't need that now. Hey, yeah, Andrew from the future here. We went really long on this recording, so I decided to split this up into. It's going to be 3 different parts. We recorded for nearly 2 hours, and rather than putting out like a 2-hour long podcast, I figured I'd split it up into the 3 different sections that we kind of talked about. This first one that you just listened to, or watched, was the sports talk, where we talked about all the sports and everything like that. You just listened to it, so you would know. So I just want to say thank you all so much for listening and or watching to this part of the podcast. If you want to continue listening to part 2, I should have that up now, if relatively soon, if not now. And continue listening to. That's where we get into the gaming stuff, where we talk about the Steam Machine and a few other things, so on and so forth. But yeah, if you like the podcast, be sure to subscribe to the It Never Ends podcast on Spotify, wherever you're listening to this, and or YouTube. And be sure to tell a friend if you would be so kind. If not, we'll see y'all next time for episode 100, or continue watching episode 99. Thank you.